States for his statement. I give the floor to the representative of the Russian Federation. Thank you, Madam President. The Russian Federation voted in favor of the resolution just adopted by the Security Council to extend the mandate of the UN Assistant Mission in Afghanistan. We believe that the UN mission has an important role in coordinating international humanitarian assistance to Afghanistan. We highly appreciate the courageous and self-sacrificing work of UN staff in that country. It is our view that an important precondition for our work together being productive in finding a settlement to the situation in Afghanistan must be the adoption of decisions that are based on scrupulous analysis, taking into account contemporary realities and reflecting the collective positions of the international community to establishing peace in this important state. The need of this approach is growing in particular at this stage because Afghanistan is on the threshold of fundamental changes in the life of the country and society. A key role in resolving state problems must be played by Afghans themselves. Given the peace process in Afghanistan, the most important task of which is to pursue formulas for sustainable national reconciliation, giving it the most inclusive possible nature and involving all public and political forces in the country in it, is of fundamental importance. We are convinced that stabilization in Afghanistan and resolving the complex challenges that the country faces will not be possible without an integrated and consolidated approach from the international community. Russia is working so that absolutely all Afghan political forces and key external players act on a unifying platform on the basis of a common rule book. We express regret over the fact that this time the Council was not able to adopt a substantive resolution which would have reflected agreed approaches of all members of the Security Council on the subject of Afghanistan. Once again, we draw attention to the methodology of negotiating resolutions. We understand that the co-authors were trying to bring the Security Council to consensus, but external pressure prevented the work being conducted that way so that the consultation process could take into account the broad panoply of positions. Some of our colleagues decided to go down the path of ignoring the opinions of a number of members of the Council and at the last moment changed tack on previously agreed wording. This gave rise to a counterproductive scenario which fundamentally undermines our joint efforts for settlement in the country and pursuit of national reconciliation. Madam President, in the Council's future work on Afghanistan, we call upon all colleagues to take into account the military political realities in the country. There must be realistic assessments of the situation in Afghanistan, which would presuppose the need to intensify the collective fight against terrorist groups such as Islamic State, Al-Qaeda, and affiliated terrorist structures. Constant attention must remain fixed on the fight against drug trafficking and the drugs trade. Regional organizations, chiefly CSTO and the SCO, continue to play an important role, and that must be underscored. The Moscow format for consultations on Afghanistan and the inter-Afghan dialogue recently launched in the Russian capital are aimed at achieving in the country a lasting and irreversible national reconciliation. Once again, we confirm our intention to act in close cooperation with the government of Afghanistan, all political forces in the country, and regional and international partners. We call upon members of the Council to act in a mutually respectful way on the basis of consensus in the pursuit of common denominators. And in that respect, we note the important role that the People's Republic of China can play in the sphere of finding lasting formulae for a settlement in Afghanistan. Thank you, Madam President. I thank the representative of the Russian Federation.